Hey now, a message for my fellow male trainers out there. When designing a nutrition and a fitness plan for your female clients, not only do you need to listen to your female clients, you need to teach yourself how to listen to your female clients, because their brains and their consciousness are operating on a level that we can't even comprehend as men.
You said to me the other day, you've got to find your why. Well, I had a why. I've had a why my whole life. I grew up in the era of Courtney Cox and Jennifer Aniston and Kate Moss. Like, you know, I've always wanted that wavy body type because that's what I saw. Yeah. I've never, like, you know, thick thighs saving lives over here is never going to look like that without some serious starvation. But I just found, like, when I got to, and it's my personality type, I would get so fixated on it, I would always just fail because it felt too overwhelming to count every single calorie and like make sure I was. So it's important. I know how to read a nutrition label, even though I don't like doing it. And you do need to know, you do have to run at a deficit. So I liked what you said to me as kind of like, you know, the meet you is, you know, weigh out some of your favorite foods and some of your favorite things. So, you know, because if I'm like having to weigh every time, and so many people I know are running out the door with the kids, you know, this, that, and the other, the car needs to be serviced. Like, that's going to be the first thing to go is weighing out your food. So I liked what you suggested is weigh it out. So, you know, like, okay, well, this cup and like have it all there. I just want to make it accessible and easier to people so they won't quit.
Well, I'm with you. I do not like counting calories.
You don't like doing anything about that with food.
No, I don't. And part of it is, well, and I have done what you were talking about when you learn what a good portion looks like. Like, I have Greek yogurt, fruit, and granola every morning.
Where have we heard that?
Hey, what do you do with your food?
I weigh it,
Thank you.
But I don't have to anymore because I've done it enough that I know what it looks like. So I do still weigh the yogurt, but I'm not weighing every little portion of everything I put on there. Like, now I know what the right portion of granola looks like, and so I can just shake that in there like, yeah, that's about right. I don't need to weigh it every time. Part of this is, one, I don't have time for that. I'm grabbing my breakfast between meetings and going to sit back down at my desk because I don't like to eat first thing in the morning before work.
My tummy gets sick too. Yeah.
The other part of it is I think all day long. It's the mental load. And I think I don't want to, well, I'm going to generalize male and female because there's that invisible mental load that we've heard a lot about lately with women. They're carrying this mental load that men don't even think about, because I'm thinking about, okay, well, my sister's birthday is coming up. I want to make sure that I am, you know, wishing her a happy birthday or sending her a card or whatever. Oh, and then this other family thing is coming up in 2 weeks. Am I going to be able to make it to that? I need to make sure Scott's schedule is going to work with that. I also know that my dad's got a doctor's appointment coming up. I'm going to try to make it to that. All of these things that are in my head that are invisible, unspoken, like laundry. I've got laundry sitting in there that I want to fold. I don't have to, but I wanted to get it taken, you know, put away.
Same. And I don't even have a spouse or a job.
Exactly.
And it's just,
right.
It's a constant.
And then people who have the kids, they're like thinking about, like, what I've heard for the last few weeks from my coworkers is all the summer camps. These parents had to sign their kids up for summer camp back in February to be able to get them a place. Yeah. So they're worrying about all of those things. You know, and then now that they're in the camps, who's going to pick up the kid at the right time? And it's a different schedule every week, and trying to balance all of that and thinking constantly while you're also working your job and taking care of your kids and taking care of your parents and taking care of your pets and all those things. I don't want to think about my food. I've got enough to think about.
What you just said, lest anyone out there think it's not real, that is very real. And women, by biological development, with the exception of some outliers, are always higher in trait neuroticism than men. That the word lends itself to a negative connotation, but it's not. It's simply a shift in mental focus. And men are generally way lower in trait neuroticism, which means that you guys, as you just described it, you're processing
constantly
all of that stuff all day, plus your job, which is heavily brain
Mental.
focused.
Yeah.
And me, I just play with my friends all day.
Right.
Now I got to plan their workouts and their nutrition and plan this podcast and write and do all this kind of stuff, but it's a way different level than that. I think about your birthday. I don't think about anybody else's
And
birthday.
when it was Mother's Day, who bought Mother's Day cards for everybody's mothers?
I don't even know when Mother's Day is.
Exactly.
And you don't lay in bed at night wondering if the workout you made me do today was the right one, right? Whereas I will obsess about
because I
things
know
that
it
happen.
was.
Well, but that's the thing.
That's the thing.
But that's the thing.
Now, there's another layer to this. You don't want to think about your food, and I get that. I have a solution for that, but you don't like the solution.
Meal.
Yeah, no, eat the same thing every night. I cannot do that.
I
cannot do that.
the exact same 4 meals a day for probably 320 days a year, because I don't want to think about my food either. And you can attest to this. That's exactly right. What I just said. Isn't
it is very true.
I eat the same thing basically every day of the year because it's easy. And also it's easy to shop for. When I go to Sam's to do the bulk of our shopping, I'm like, I know exactly where I'm going. I don't have to think about that. So there's more bandwidth cleared for other things that you need to think about. That's a no-brainer. So you don't like to do that. You hate eating the same thing over and over again. I don't care. I just want the nutrients in me. I don't care about the food part. But you don't want to do that. You can't do that. And I shouldn't expect you to do that. But if I'm going to meet you where you are and pull you a little bit to where you need to be in order to maintain good health, wellness, strength for your workout, fuel for your workouts and all that stuff, you kind of need to come to me a little bit.
Well, and I have. There are certain things that I know are healthy for me, and I have options. Like I eat the same stuff every week. I just don't I have 4 or 5 different things that I'll eat on a regular basis.
Instead of doing the same thing every day like I do, you have a rotation throughout the week, but it's the same foods.
Right.
And because of that, you know your portions because I've had you weigh things over and over and over and over and over again. And your prep time is easy, your cook time is easy, and when we shop, it's easy. So it's just a bigger version of what I do. And so that's the compromise there.
Right.
So we control, we know what our macro needs are, we know what our calorie needs are, and we know what our total daily energy expenditure is. So we can not obsess over the food. Do you obsess over food?
No.
You don't obsess over food,
No.
but you're eating well and you're healthy. And that's how I meet you where you are and I come get you, pull you back a little bit my way.
Right.
You need to know what your body needs, but you don't have to do that every single day for the rest of your life if you want to lose weight. Like, I'm like, how can we make it more accessible? Because that to me is just so daunting.
Yeah.
Like if you told me to eat an ice cream cone every day for the rest of my life, I would be like, that's a lot of commitment.
Right.
So to me, it's just to find I just want this version, like I want to lose some weight. I would love to lose a pound a week. But how can I do that without having to go over every single little detail of every little grain of sand that's going in my mouth?
Let me go trainer on you. The first thing you do is hire a certified personal trainer and certified nutrition coach who does all that stuff for you.
Or you marry one.
But short of that, there's 2 things you're going to need to know. You're going to need to know the content of your food.
Right.
And once again, what we're talking about is those 3 things: deficit, maintenance, or gains. You got to know your calories. And the 2 things you have to know about them is how many calories are coming out of your food and how many calories is your body burning on a daily basis.